Hi, I'm Joanna. I suffer from lipedema. I'm one of the 30% of women who suffer from lipedema. And I just found out very recently that I suffer from lipedema. Oh, the symptoms? The symptoms, I've known about the symptoms. What I haven't known, what's never added up for me, is why I have really loose joints, but I've got areas of my body that have lots of scar tissue for no apparent reason. On my legs, on my arms, and on my belly. Well, I just found out the reason. It's called lipedema. I have so many questions. And I'm a bit like a dog with a bone. And as I'm looking for the answers, and I do have a lot of patience to look for the answers, I want to share them with you. I want the 30% of women to know why they might have stretch marks all over their body because their skin is too elastic. Why their joints don't support them very well. Because the collagen and the elastin percentages are not the same as the other people in the world. Why does the fat on their body in certain places feel all lumpy, like there's grains of sand and bigger, pebbles even, inside? Why won't the fat go away? Why are there cuffs on my arms and around my ankles? Why does the fluid just hang around? Why isn't it just simple like it is for so many other people? Well, it's called lipedema. And I think the more we know about these symptoms and how they all work together in our bodies, we can make choices about what we do in our lives regarding those symptoms to try to get the best quality of life out of our body that we can. That's my goal. And because I have that goal, and I'm a teacher and I'm a life coach, I'm really interested in connecting with all the other people who happen to mostly be women. Lipedema presents in about 30% of women and very rarely presents in men. So we're thinking, oh, maybe it's hormonal. Well, it's triggered at times of hormonal fluctuation. Puberty, pregnancy, and menopause. So you might have got away with it for a really long time, not having it come about in your body. Then you hit menopause, and all of a sudden, your arms get bigger, your hips get bigger, your thighs, maybe down the bottom of your legs too. It's a tough gig being a woman. I think it's a tough gig being a human. But in this regard, in regard to lipedema, it is a tough gig being a woman. Okay, so far this is what I've kind of gathered, and I'm going to refine it. And if I'm wrong right now, please put it in the comments, because this is a learning journey and I'm happy to correct myself. This disease or disorder is not at all new. It's not caused by anything in the modern world, but it may very well be enhanced. There is historical evidence of this disproportionate body shape, thousands of years old. What I want to know is, what is it about our life today, interacting with the world and the world of mind as well today. What is it about the food and the water and the air and the activity levels and the stress and the expectations and the ideologies? What is it about all of those aspects of life that are causing 30% of women to be symptomatic in a really, really uncomfortable manner? That's what I want to know. So it remains a hypothesis because there's not been much awareness. Hasn't really had a name until not that long ago. It's just been observed, and observed a lot. However, there's no pathology that you can be referred to find out whether you have lipedema. You need to find a lipedema expert, practitioner, who will assess your body. And you could have stage 1, 2, or 3. You could have stage 3 lipedema, which is obviously more than just obesity, and still have medical professionals around you telling you that no, you're just fat. Just fat. You might be fat, but you're not just fat. The complications and the intricacies are really, really important. We have to stand up for ourselves. We have to help each other. We have to educate each other. We have to be brave together. We have to bring it to the attention of the people who are supposed to be assisting us when we ask for assistance. Okay, there's observations of it being connected to the immune system, the lymphatic system and inflammation, the metabolic systems and the hormonal systems of the body. Pretty much covers all the systems that are supposed to be keeping us in balance and looking after us. So we are dysregulated in multiple ways, and all together we have this sensitivity to something that brings about these excessive symptoms. It is likely to be familial, even though there's no testing. It will be somewhere in your inheritance. It rarely demonstrates in men, but it can be passed down by men and their line. 30% of women suffer from lipedema at some stage of lipedema, depending on, I suppose, your sensitivity to whatever it is in society where you're interacting. I want to help the 30%. I'm part of the 30%. I want to help me. If I'm going to help me, I might as well help you at the same time. So far, I am seeing lipedema as a dysfunction of connective tissue, which involves adipose tissue. So your connective tissue can be stiff and it can be elastic. And you need it to be stiffer in certain places, and you need it to be elastic in certain places. Now, what happens if it's dysregulated? What happens if your body grows non-elastic connective tissue because there has been an excessive growth causing breakage? And then you have the outer layer of your fat cells, scar tissue effectively, doesn't want to let the fat out because it's surrounded it, because the fat cell was going to just explode, so it surrounded it. And it's not elastic. It hurts. There's pressure. Any pain signal is going to cause a response from the lymphatic system, cause, inflammation. When you burn yourself and you get a big blister inside the fluid, that's lymphatic fluid. That's wet healing. Don't pop the bubble. You get infected. Your body is trying to heal itself. And your body does the same thing throughout its entire system. It's trying to heal itself. breaking things inside is not good. Your body has been trying to keep you alive. I think it's our job to work out what it is in our interactions that is really confronting our bodies. It seems any affront to our body, if you are a sensitive creature, not a bad thing, it's just a thing. Any confrontation to this thing, this human thing, seems to trigger the growth of excess connective tissue, the wrong kind, in the wrong place. So, what else can I tell you? I can tell you that I'm 51, and I have just like today realized what has been an enormous problem my whole entire life thus far, all the way back to 12 years old, puberty. Because hormonal fluctuation, times of hormonal fluctuation, puberty, pregnancy, and menopause, they're the trigger times for lipedema becoming symptomatic. Now I want to know everything. And I know the medical profession don't know everything, but there are resources out there because I've found some. And people are talking about it because I've been listening to them. And so my job is to learn all about it as much as I can, and section by section, learn and bring it to you. And hopefully we can share it all around. And you may not be a teachy type. You might not be the one who likes to do the talking and the explaining, but I am. You can use my stuff to show people. Because if you don't know, then you've got problems that you're trying to solve, or you're just living with them. And maybe if you knew more, you wouldn't be so down on yourself. Since discovering the symptoms that I've known of for a very long time, since discovering they're part of this dysregulation in my body, they're a group of symptoms. Even the stretch marks on my body that I've had since puberty, and the hypermobility that I have in all of my joints. I'm forever clicking things back in, especially my hips. This body has been a little bit of hard work. And I'm not at stage 3 lipedema. I can't imagine. I don't have great pain from the lipedemic adipose tissue in my body. I could possibly, if I didn't follow the diet that I follow and some of the lifestyle interventions that I use. But I can't imagine what it would be like to have your skin not able to support your body. Everything's hanging and painful every time you move. Probably when you're not moving too. I think the lipedemic symptomatic people of the world need the truth of what they are living through. And if there are ways to help the symptoms, and if there are ways to reverse the symptoms, I think everyone deserves to know. So that is my plan. Wish me well in my learning. I'm going to share as much as I can with you. There's lots on the YouTubes about it. The information is growing. The number of professionals learning about it is growing. Nothing is for certain, and everything is a little anecdotal. But I think if you're part of this carnivore community, you don't mind a bit of an experiment. So I certainly don't mind a bit of an experiment, and I'm going to share my experiments if I can with you and everything that I've learned, and hopefully together we conquer as much as we can. Don't give up. Just don't give up. We may not solve the entire problem, but if we have less problem, that would be better. Have more comfort, that would be better. A little bit more happiness, less pain, that would be just much better. And of course, I'll be chiming in about the psychology of the whole thing. I'm very interested in the personal experiences of people who would like to connect with me, who are self-diagnosed or professionally diagnosed with lipedema, to talk to them from a life coaching perspective about what maybe happened really early on that made them far more sensitive. Maybe there's a link. Maybe there's something to discover. So I would love it if you were interested. I would love it if we could have a chat and see if there's something in that theory. I certainly understand that the experience of having lipedema in our society is going to leave you some emotional scars. It certainly has for me. It's been tough to have never had a summer ready body, no matter what I did. Everyone else walking on a flat road, me up a hill all the time. Yeah, sure, it makes me stoic, but it has also made me tired. And maybe it's made me a little wiser. Still don't think it's fair. But such is life. So this is the journey, part of my journey that I'm going to share with you, and I hope you get something out of it. And don't forget, contact me if you want to have a chat. Do you know why I love my job? The Zoom call starts. We introduce ourselves. We do a little bit of get to know you. They tell me what the problem is. I ask a few questions. And I ask a few more questions. And as I'm doing this, it's like a little puzzle is evolving. And I love puzzles. I love human puzzles. Most of the time, within about 45 minutes, my client is having tears of relief that finally they know they have received an understanding of what the problem has been, and they feel completely different about the problem that they presented to me right at the beginning of the call. That's why I love my job.